All right, everybody, star 2 to raise your hand. Any questions, comments, anything you can add to the conversation? You star 2 to raise your hand. If anybody has a victory for us, we'd love a victory. Everybody's kind of quiet tonight. There we go. We've got one out of Kansas City, Kansas. How you doing?
Hey, Mike. This is Sean O'Connor.
Hey, how you doing, Sean?
Pretty good. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good.
I have a story, experience. I was fishing for leads on Redfin, of all places, and kind of dialing for dollars. Talked to a few for sale by owners, and I ran out of those, and I started going down the list of listed properties. I called the broker, and he said, "Oh, it's funny. The seller just canceled the listing, and I'm going over to pull my sign right now." I said, "Oh, really? What's going on?" That's kind of what I do. I try to help people out of these jams. And he said, "Well, he's got this, that, and the other thing, and he's filing bankruptcy on Monday, so he just figures he's just going to give the house back to the bank." And I said, "Well, let me, if I can squeeze something out of it, I'll pay you a referral fee." And he gave me his number. He goes, "Yeah, sure." So, long story short, within less than 48 hours, I met with the guy. It was last Saturday. Went to the title company on a Saturday, got the guy to draw me a warranty deed and pull a legal description. I met the guy at a McDonald's, and he deeded the property over to me on the spot. I had a notary, of course, mobile notary. And so I'm buying it subject to his VA loan. So I've got to go through, and I guess my question is, so as much as a victory, not a victory till it's all. I mean, I guess it's done, but I gotta get my arms around the loan now, right? So he's about $6,000 in arrears since December, I guess it is. But I haven't done a sub 2 on a VA loan before. My understanding is that the VA is okay with someone taking selling sub 2 or that selling sub 2. I just wondered if you and Mitch had any experience, or anybody on this line had any experience doing that, dealing with the VA.
So I've done them through the VA. They do have a due on sale clause, just like any bank does.
Right.
Whether they will ever enact on that due on sale clause, who knows? I think most banks, most VA loans, all of it, are usually very happy as long as they're getting their payments. They don't care. So I can't tell you yes they won't, no they won't, but that's something for you to think about,
Sure.
But they do have a due on sale clause.
Any pitfalls? Yeah.
I own probably 20, I bet. Still own probably 20, and I've never had one taken back.
Have you ever sold a VA on a wrap? Sub 2
I have. Is there a lot of room in it?
Is there a lot of room? Well, there's enough. I mean, the house I call it a pretty house. It's the prettiest house I bought today. So it's there's not a lot of reno work. He's really thin on it, but I think
what's owed on it, and what will you sell it for?
He owes. It's owed with including the arrears, probably $270, let's say. I would say that the house with a coat of paint inside, I can probably sell it retail for maybe $310, $315, maybe $320.
Okay. So the only thing to consider on that one is, and this has happened to me a couple times in the past. The only thing to consider is when a house that expensive is vacant, it eats up a lot of money. You got a $270,000 loan, and then your spread is not huge. It's a 30. By the time you get your down payment, it's a $20,000 to $30,000 spread. If it goes vacant for 3 or 4 months, you might not make any money on that house for 3 years because there's not a ton of spread in that one. So that's the only thing to really consider on that one.
Okay. Well, you mean in terms of me sitting on it before I can put a new buyer into it?
Yes.
Yeah, right. That's true. I thought I could, the lender hasn't, to my knowledge, has not sent a notice of default. So I don't know if this is still part of the the COVID slow to react kind of thing. They're not noticing people yet. So one strategy I guess would be to let it, if I as need be, let it go a couple of months before I get it sold, and then bring it current at that point when I get my down payment from my new buyer. It's a way to not have to service that thing, until I can get someone in there.
Right.
So,
Yeah, just how much is the payment going out? Do you know?
Yeah, the total monthly is around, with tax insurance, there's this association dues. It's around $1,600 a month, and that's about what market rent is. So it's a wash in that respect.
So what I'm saying is, say you get somebody to buy it and it would be $2,000 or even $2,200 a month, right? So
right.
there's a $800 spread in it. But if that house is vacant for 2 months between the time you purchase it and the time you go to sell it, you've got $3,000 in that you're paid out, and then you get $2,200 that first month. But you owe for, well, so let's say it's probably 3 months because you buy it, fix it, get it sold, and then actually close on it and get your first payment. You're somewhere between 3 to 4 months that you haven't received the payment, but you put out $1,600. So you're at $3,200, and then $4,800 is what you've paid out, and you make $800 a month on that one at best. So that $800 to make up that $4,800 is about 6 months, right? So just be prepared for that is all I'm saying.
Right. Gotcha.
The good news is it's got that super low interest rate you can't beat.
Right. So if I can get through the initial startup and possibly having to service the thing until I get a new buyer in there and start earning that arbitrage between the note rate and what I mark it up to, yeah, I've got a little out-of-pocket expense.
Right.
Right. I'm with you.
And
Any other
it's all fine and it's all
DA?
good as long as no other nuance, but I would be very, very, very careful with what buyer you put in there. I'd try to get a really good amount down and make sure they're going to be a buyer that pays on time. If you got a buyer that likes to get 3 or 4 months behind and then pay it all at once, it sucks to have to fork out $5,000 before you get anything back in. So
right.
I would just make sure you've got a great buyer in there, We try to make sure they're all great buyers, right? But I would really, really push for a good one on that.
I'm with you. Okay.
And it's okay to have 1 or 2 of these as an outlier. Just be careful that you don't do too many of them, because I've had a bunch of them at one time and have been paying on a bunch at one time, and it can stretch the cash flow thin.
Yeah, I don't need that.
Yeah.
I doubt anybody needs it. I certainly don't. So I'm with you. So thank you for pointing that out.
So, but no, as far as VA goes,
okay.
I've never had an issue with them.
Okay, good to know. All right, thanks a lot.
All right, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Hey, everybody, hold on a second. My computer decided to run an update right in the middle of this, so give us 1 second. Sean, if you'll mute your phone for me, because I can't mute you from here until this update's done.
Okay.
All right, everybody, just bear with us for a minute. I'll be right back.